Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of October Country for the 11th of October. Tonight I have something special for you boys and girls who might, like me, be children of the 70s and 80s. I grew up being a big fan of the Hardy Boys books. I read most of them. That might surprise some of you, but if you really know me, it probably doesn't. And so I was a big fan of this series. With Parker Stevenson, Sean Cassidy, and Pamela Sue Martin. It only lasted 3 seasons. It's kind of dated, kind of late 70s, by some of the attire, some of the actions, some of the activities and things they're doing. But that being said, it was a fun series. It was full of kind of danger and excitement. The guys were cool. They did cool stuff that, no real teenager really does those things. They had cool 70s bands. They surfed, they played guitar. It was cool. They rode dirt bikes. But tonight is my favorite 2 episodes of the series. It is
Tonight on the Hardy Boys, the mystery of the Hollywood Phantom.
So this episode, again, is a 2-part episode. Frank and Joe and Nancy all attend a detective conference in Los Angeles, where the detectives start receiving Polaroid pictures that have been taken of them with heads cut off and sinister messages written on the back. And slowly these people who get these messages start becoming in danger or disappearing. This goes to my point that if there's a killer running around, you should always find out who's taking who's buying Polaroid film, and you will find out who is the killer. Anyway, it turns out into a great mystery. People start disappearing. No one pays attention to the kids because, of course, they're kids. And, of course, Nancy Drew is a girl. And, in the 70s, no one is paying attention to a young girl telling them what to do. And that would be really funny if it was actually anachronistic. This being a Universal TV show, someone had the brilliant idea to have a large part of the action take place on the back lot of Universal Studios. Seems like a great idea. The show almost sort of works as a tourist advertisement for the Universal Backlot Tour, except for the fact that people keep disappearing off the tour. So I'm not sure how good an advertisement for the tour that is. But you do get to see a lot of the cool stuff: the boulders, the old ice cave, and some other stuff. There's some great guest stars in this episode. First of all, Casey Kasem doing a weird Peter Falk impersonation, which doesn't make any sense. Jacqueline Smith, Dennis Weaver. There's just a bevy of these guys. But the best cameo in the episode is this guy. It's the Phantom of the Opera, or it's a guy dressed up in a rather cheap-looking Phantom of the Opera mask. And he's sort of the one doing all the kidnapping and writing these messages, taking these photos and whatnot. Part of what really the reason this episode is on this podcast now is because these scenes of being chased around the backlot at night with the wet down pavement and the empty sound stages really creeped me out as a kid. And now as an adult, having been on backlots at night and been on empty sound stages at night, I can tell you they are in fact very, very creepy. It's like being at the end of the world. You're in a downtown urban setting and there's not a single soul around you. It's creepy. And so there was a perfect setting for this. In a way, Universal quoting itself, using as its villain their first sort of superstar as the Family Opera, the Lon Chaney Sr. 1925 version. Kind of neat. And then also incorporating one of their newest stars in at the time, which was Jaws. Anyway, yeah, it's a great mystery, great characters. There's a little bit of odd amount of adults being attracted to these kids who are technically teenagers, but I guess it's the 70s, so okay. Again, great guest stars. And if, obviously, I would say Scooby-Doo was inspired by the Hardy Boys, and in this case, this TV show was probably inspired by Scooby-Doo. So Casey Kasem being in this series is really strange, and the solution to this particular mystery, if you're a Scooby-Doo fan, actually becomes even more interesting. There's kind of a meta layering going on. Anyway, that is the Hardy Boys Mystery of the Hollywood Phantom, also starring Nancy Drew. That is tonight's October Country podcast. Thanks very much for listening. That was a lot to get out in a very short amount of time. Again, this episode and some of the other episodes are available online. I'm hesitant to encourage anybody to watch things online that are posted by the permission of the producers. But be that as may, the series is available on DVD as well, so you can check that out. Thanks for listening to October Country tonight. My name is Jim Towns, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
No parking, I'll just be a minute.